Who or what are you allowing to define your self-worth? This is an interesting question. And I think this is one that requires a little reflection, some introspection, just something to sit with and think about. And I think you should think about it on a regular basis because, believe it or not, there's so many things in our lives that we sometimes consciously or subconsciously allow to determine our self-worth and how we feel about ourselves. So before we even get going, let's define what self-worth even is. Self-worth is your internal value system and your own personal sense of who you are. It defines your confidence, your sense of belonging, your self-esteem, your overall happiness and fulfillment, quite frankly. So our self-worth is paramount. It's essential to have good self-worth and value on who we are. And we're going to talk about, things that don't define our self-worth. I think if we do the process of elimination to discuss all the things that don't define us, right, we can get to the root of what does and who does. So number one, I want to make it very clear that your childhood and your parents don't define your self-worth. And I know this is a big one because our childhood is a huge part of who we are, and it's a huge part of our lives. Whether you had an amazing childhood or whether it wasn't so great, a lot of our childhood and upbringing creates our subconscious mind. And we have experiences and things that we pull from subconsciously, that we're not even aware of because so much is embedded. It's like our download, our internal download that we pull from in our lives, even as adults, from things that has happened to us as children. So it's hard to say that it doesn't define our self-worth or our parents don't define our self-worth. And it can be challenging to really admit that. But the reality is our childhood, our parents, that was an experience in our lives, right? Good or bad or indifferent. That was an experience in our lives. That was a part of who we are. It doesn't completely define who we are. Now, there could be some healing. There could be some processing and coping, things that you might need to work through, or you might have had such an amazing childhood that, your adult life isn't quite measuring up to that. And it can take some coming down, from it. But either end of the spectrum, the point is your childhood, again, is just a part of who you are and it's a piece of your experience, but it shouldn't define you and it shouldn't define your self-worth and your value, if that makes sense. So again, if you need to heal and discuss and talk to somebody to overcome challenges, great. Do whatever you need to do to arrive today and be the best version of yourself and to release any trauma, any issues. And if you had a great childhood, great. Continue to show up and be a great human being. But at the end of the day, that part of your life still doesn't define your self-worth. Next, your relationships, okay? Whether it's romantic or friendships, it doesn't matter. Your relationships don't define your self-worth either. It's funny, especially women, when they hit a certain age, when it comes to being married or single or whatever their status is, it really affects them in ways that are really unimaginable. And I think a lot of it comes from societal standards and expectations that they have on women. And for whatever reason, being single has been deemed terrible. But being single can be fun, and when you really love yourself and you find things that you enjoy in life, you're able to be free without being committed to someone else and being concerned with someone else. Like, it's so much that could be enjoyed and so much value in being single and enjoying that phase in your life, but also being in a relationship or being married could equally have a lot of value, right? At the end of the day, all of our journeys are different. Our timing is different. When things happen in our lives, how things happen in our lives are all going to look very different because we're all unique on our own journey. So yet, this is an important part of who we are based on who we decide to be with and the timing of all of that. It still does not define your self-worth. It just doesn't. And we can't allow society to pressure us into jumping into relationships or doing things that we're just not ready for, right? To have a facade or persona or an image that someone else wants us to have, because again, we are the ones who have to live with that reality. Next, other people. Other people don't define your self-worth. I don't care how critical they are. I don't care how close they are to you and how much you may value their opinion or respect them. Or if it's someone you don't know that might say harsh things to you or even amazing things to you, right? While we can take a compliment or we can ignore something that we don't like that someone says, either way, it doesn't define us. I think a big part of self-worth comes when individuals start the comparison game, where you're thinking about your life, your reality, and comparing it to the next person or someone you know or someone on social media or someone on TV or what society says, right? You're comparing your reality, your unique, beautiful experience to someone else's. That can also be an issue, and it still doesn't define your self-worth, right? I think it's important to understand and respect and honor your unique path, your unique journey, and love and appreciate and respect other people's, right? I think it's okay to also admire, someone's relationship or their success. I think it's okay to do those things, but ultimately it should not be a comparison game. And I think it's important to really be comfortable with where you are in your life and understand that you are worthy of all of those things. But someone else's success or love life or experiences, again, don't define your reality, if that makes sense. Next is your appearance, okay? We live in a very, very physical world where appearance holds a lot of weight, right? And I do know that we live in a superficial world where this is the reality. But at the end of the day, it still doesn't define your self-worth, your image, your appearance. It just doesn't. I think what's most important when it comes to appearance is truly loving yourself. I mean, that's what it boils down to, because you could be the most beautiful person in the world on the outside, but if you aren't truly happy with who you are on the inside, right, and how you feel about yourself, regardless of what the outside looks like, no matter what you change, no matter what you do, no matter who compliments you, no matter what other people love about you, if you don't love it, it really doesn't matter. Okay. And even if you haven't conquered those internal challenges and battles within yourself around things that you might not love or like about you, you can go change it tomorrow, but it doesn't mean that you're going to feel or think differently about yourself, if that makes sense. So for example, you want to lose 50 pounds or 20 pounds, or you want to lose some weight. If you haven't really cultivated self-love and appreciation for yourself and loving yourself where you are today, who you are today now, not the future version of yourself, but who you are today, even if you lose that weight, you're still likely going to have this negative image of yourself, if that makes sense. So I just think it's important to cultivate self-love, cultivate self-care, cultivate mastering who you are, knowing who you are so no one else can ever tell you who you are, and love yourself, right? And when you get to that point, loving yourself where you are, how you are, and then there's still things that you want to change, level up, improve upon, go for it. But at the end of the day, you have to love you at the core, at the true essence of every sense of your being. Love who you are, flaws and all. That's so important. Your income and your career. I think it's great. It's admirable. It is amazing when people go to school and they have great careers and they're doing things that fuel their passion and they're doing amazing work and they're happy with the work that they do. Or if you haven't quite arrived there yet, right? Regardless of the status of your career, your job, your employment, it doesn't define your self-worth. It still doesn't. Okay, that's an important aspect of who we are, something that we spend a lot of our lives doing, if we are career people, career women. But ultimately, it's a part of who we are, and it still doesn't define your self-worth. So hopefully you're following me, and I'm really talking about just all the things, that I hear about regularly working with many women from all different walks of life, where, they have put themselves in a bucket, or have allowed things and people in society to define their self-worth and who they are and how they feel about themselves, right? I'm just going through some of the major things that I hear on a regular basis and just really shedding light and why these people or these things don't define your self-worth. And even with your career, I just want to mention on that, your income. You could be a 6-figure earner, 7-figure, 8-figure, 9-figure earner. Great. And you could also be a 5-figure earner, or no earner. Wherever you are with your compensation, again, it doesn't define your self-worth. For women, children, whether you are a mother or not, I don't care how old you are, where you are in your life, that is a personal choice, and it doesn't define your self-worth. It doesn't define who you are, if you are a single mother, if you are married, whatever. It doesn't define your worth at all. We hear so many things in society where single moms might get a bad rap because they're single raising children, or they might have a hard time dating or not. Or women who don't have kids at all at a certain age. It's frowned upon, like it's something wrong with the woman, or, even married women, who may feel obligated to have kids, are looking for that balance to juggle marriage and children and themselves and career. Whatever your unique experience is, it still doesn't define your self-worth. Okay, so hopefully you followed me, and I went through a lot of things, and I could create a longer list, but I think you get the point that nothing defines your self-worth but you. That was really the whole point of the video, right? I could have said that at the beginning, but I think we had to really go through and just talk about the things that we often think defines who we are and our self-worth, to really understand that they don't. You hold the cards, you hold the power to define your reality and who you are and how you feel about yourself. And the fact is, you are worthy. You are so worthy. You are so worthy of any and everything you desire or not in this life. This is your life to live. You call the shots. You make the rules. I don't know if you are a spiritual person or not, but God, a higher power in your life helping to orchestrate and direct your steps. But it's important to trust your own timing. It's important to trust who you are, love who you are, and just embrace who you are and understand that you are the one who defines your self-worth and your value. And I'm here to tell you, you are highly valuable. You are worthy of, again, everything amazing in this world if you desire it. Okay, nobody can define that but you. So I hope this video was helpful to you, and I encourage you to just embrace the self-love, bask in who you are, trust your unique journey and your unique timing in your life. This is your life, and it's going to look different than the next person's, and that is absolutely okay. It was intended to. We're not robots. We're not all marching to the same beat and doing the same thing. And that is okay. Embrace your uniqueness no matter what. So I hope this helped again. I am T.Prince, certified leadership and life coach and HR expert. I have worked in leadership roles for over 15-20 years. I enjoy helping people to elevate their reality and just be their absolute best. Here on this channel, I make videos about motherhood, conscious leadership, women empowerment, personal growth and development, and just ways to live and be the best version of you. I mean, that's really what it boils down to, and that's why we're here. So again, hopefully this was a helpful video. Please subscribe to my channel. Take a look at the description box below. There you will find my Instagram and my website, and just other things to find out a little bit more about me and the services I offer. I am accepting new clients right now. If you are seeking some support, some guidance, I am here to help, and I look forward to connecting with you soon. Thanks, and remember, you define who you are and your self-worth, not anyone else.